The Christmas presents, once opened, are not so much fun as they were while they were in the process of being examined, lifting, shaking, thinking about, and opening them. 365 days later, we try again and find that the same thing has happened. Each time the goal is reached, it becomes not so much fun, and we're off to reach the next one, then the next one, then the next. That doesn't mean that the goals we have don't count. They do, mostly because they cause us to go through the process, and it's the process that makes us wise, happy, or whatever. If we do things in the wrong sort of way, it makes us miserable, angry, confused, and things like that. The goal has to be right for us, and it has to be beneficial in order to ensure a beneficial process. But aside from that, it's really the process that's important. Benjamin Hoff, The Tao of Pooh. Welcome back, or first time, to One Holiday at a Time. It's a podcast where we study the weird world of holiday-themed movies and TV specials.
Happy holidays, guys. My name is Adela.
And I'm Alex. Happy holidays.
Happy days.
It's always the holidays around these parts.
Yep.
Yep. Well, we have a special guest today. He is a very funny comedian. He is the host of a great series of shows out here called The Storrs Objection. They're actually having a show on the 22nd. You should go see it at the Herberger Theater. This is going to be fun. Yes, please welcome Matt Storrs.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a great pleasure to be here.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So what is, in your opinion, what's your favorite holiday out of, like, any holiday? It doesn't have to be, like, a major one or anything.
I like all of the little, like, National Pancake Day, National Waffle Day, all those things, because it's like, oh, hey, like, the other day was National Blueberry Day, and I was like, oh, hey, I have blueberries, so I ate a thing of blueberries. It just worked out well. But more traditional holidays, I think that Thanksgiving is a lot of fun. Yeah. Just because, like, it gives everybody an excuse to cook, and, like, the day after, like, major holidays, I love it because, like, Thanksgiving wise, you can just go in and, like, just get turkey.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like,
sales.
Just super great sales, and just put it in a freezer, and, like, I have an Instapot, so it's just like, cool. I'll throw this in, defrost it, throw it in. Get some food. So
yeah, that's always so. Yeah, we always go to, like, after Easter and, like, Valentine's Day, we always just go to, like, Walgreens and get as much candy as we can.
Oh yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
All right, well, let's get into the movie. So why did you choose this movie in particular?
Because it is the best Christmas film ever made.
I think that is true. I think that I'm not sure, actually. I haven't thought about it. I haven't thought about, like, every Christmas movie I've ever seen, but I really like this movie.
It's a great film.
Yeah.
Like, it's it's got Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's got Sinbad, it's got young Anakin Skywalker,
Jake Lloyd.
It's got
Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman, absolutely. It's it's a feel good story. It's fundamentally that just takes physics and throws it out the window.
That's true. Yeah,
it's nice.
But yeah, let's get into it. So we watched Jingle All The Way, which is very good. We actually, do you have that thing pulled up? Because we have it on Blu-ray because we like this movie a lot.
Oh, sweet.
And so there's an extended edition that we watched.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think it's only like 4 minutes longer.
Yeah.
But it's like there's some stuff in it that's kind of weird. And they also, not only is it like extended, but they added like alternate takes for scenes, and it's really weird. But I think I like the extended version a little better just because they also shuffle around scenes, kind of.
Oh, that's
there's, like,
nice.
There's a scene, we'll get into it, but there's a scene like at the end of the credits in the normal movie, and they put that just at the end of the movie, which I think fits very well. But
yeah, I think that makes a little bit. Yeah, the one with it's like, oh, what'd you get me? Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. We're just gonna hit it beat by beat. Let's go.
Sounds good.
All right, so we start out with the sick clip from the Turbo Man TV show. As we come to find out, it's like a Power Rangers like style action show with Turbo Man, obviously, and then we got his trusty sidekick Booster, which is a giant.
I'd say he's like a pink fluorescent like tiger bear.
Yeah, something like that, like a humanoid tiger.
Yeah.
And then we have his arch nemesis Dementor, I think is how you pronounce it.
Yeah, I believe it's Dementor. And that's just, it's a man, it's a standard, like, I'm very intelligent man with a brain
that you can see. You can physically see it.
And that just sounds like a traumatic brain injury that was just like glossed over to me.
Maybe it was maybe Turbo Man did it to him.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's true. And then we also have his classic Demon Team, which are just the Power Rangers pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Bad boys.
Yeah.
Bad boy Power Rangers.
Yeah. But yeah, we get all introduced to all those classic characters that we'll be talking about throughout the movie, and then we cut over to little Jamie, played by Jake Lloyd, who is from playing Anakin from the first, well, not the first, but episode 1 of Star Wars.
Yep.
Actually, I don't know if you've seen it, because I see people post about it all the time as like a joke. But Jake Lloyd's been getting into a lot of trouble lately.
Oh, he has, yeah.
Yeah, he's been getting like DUIs and stuff. He's like...
Showing his turn to the dark side.
And his head hasn't grown. I'm gonna say that he still has a child's head.
Yeah, he still has like he's just him. Just imagine that child with like a goatee, and that's him.
Yeah, that
nowadays.
literally is him. Yeah.
Are you looking him up?
Yes, I am.
Let's see what kind of shenanigans has he gotten into?
Oh boy.
Yep.
Oh.
Which is like weird. I don't think I've ever seen him in anything else other than these 2 movies. But he seems like one of those kids who was like did a lot of stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean he was fairly active. I want to say. I think he did. I can't think of the other thing that
He did
seen
some like
him in.
Romantic comedy, I think. So his name is Jamie in this film, and he's sitting there watching, just watching the show, Turbo Man. That's the name of the show. How did I forget that? And he's just loving it. He's loving it a lot. And his mom comes in, played by Rita Wilson. I feel like everybody does a good job in this movie. I don't know. Like even Arnold is like,
he goes for it, man.
Yeah, he's like, it's believable that he is like a weird foreign man in America.
Yeah,
I believe it.
I think this movie is fundamentally about the American dream, somewhat gone wrong. This man has immigrated to America, has sacrificed substantially for his family, but in doing so and building this amazing business, he has forgotten what the Christmas season and what his family needs, and that is him. So the movie is, the story of him coming to the realization and like going out of his way to try and do that. When really fundamentally all his family wants is him. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it is, the American dream gone wrong fundamentally. He just doesn't know how to, turn it off. Yeah.
That is true. Yeah. That's a very good point. That is the general, like, the word that I forgot of this movie.
Plot?
Let's move on. I said anything about that. But yeah, so mom comes in, tells them they got to get ready and go leave.
Wait,
what
was the word theme?
Yep, that's the word.
All right, we got it.
Hit it on the head with the hammer. It's a nail. Okay. But yeah, Dad's not home, so Jamie's kind of sad. He's like, "Oh, we can't leave yet. Dad's not home." And Mom's like, "Oh, he's not gonna miss it. Don't worry about it. He'll be there." And then we cut to an office Christmas party, and it's popping the fuck off. It's like wild. There's all like every movie I've ever seen with an office Christmas party is like crazy, and everyone's having a good time. I don't think I've actually ever been to an office Christmas party, but I feel like it wouldn't be that bumping. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean it depends on the time of day, and the size of the company. So if a company is like under 100, probably no. What is? I don't know what the dynamic is where you can have like you can know everybody in your office. I think it's like 50 something people.
Probably. Even that's a lot.
Yeah, even that's a lot. But you can generally know them and like have some memory of who they are, just passingly. But when you get into an office Christmas party or office party of any type, that's above like that threshold where it's like a big office where there's kind of a degree of anonymity in there. That's when they get out of control. You know what I mean?
That's
So
true, 'cause
there's
they can just like do it because no one knows who they are, pretty much.
yeah, it's like, oh, he's just the intern, maybe.
I think so.
Yeah, but yeah, so that is the dynamic. Yeah, my experience with Christmas or holiday parties has been, it's a potluck and it's a lot of nodding.
Yeah.
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 Just like standing around talking to people that like I think I have talked with them before.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
maybe. But yeah, so it's a Christmas party. They're having a fun time. But Howard, who is played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's up in his office and he's working hard like a good American man should. He's calling all his clients, telling them that they're his favorite customer, selling them it's mattresses, I believe,
I
right?
feel like it's mattresses.
I think he sells
or
mattresses.
furniture.
Yeah, something
They
like
don't
that.
really mention it that much.
Well,
in
they
the
talk about
movie.
changing the color of something.
Yeah,
so I'm
and then,
assuming it's upholstery on something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's mattresses. But yeah, so he's calling everybody, and then his assistant comes in, reminds him that Jamie's karate. God, I was blanking on the word last night too, and I'm blanking on it now. This is awful.
Why can't you think?
What is the word for it?
Class? Performance?
I guess class,
ex-
really?
Graduation?
Yeah, graduation.
I guess so. Yeah, like a graduation ceremony.
Yeah, like it's like a ceremony is.
Yeah. That would be
Yeah.
good, like a karate ceremony.
That's
Yeah.
the word.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, his assistant comes in and reminds him of that. But he's like, oh, I'll make it. Don't worry about it. And then there's just a montage of him making calls and not making it. Classic.
Mhm.
But then Liz calls him, who's his wife. He calls him and asks him where he is, if he's gonna be there, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll definitely be there. Don't worry about it. And don't forget, you're my #1 customer. And then he's like, oh shit, I probably shouldn't have said that but I'm sorry.
I mean, what's more romantic than telling your wife you're my #1 customer?
That's true.
That's like it's romantic, man. That's like
that's the heart of love right there.
Yeah, he truly values her because not only does he see her as his wife, but as a customer.
A customer of love.
A customer of love.
Yeah. So he leaves after all that, and he's like racing down this packed highway. It's like bumper to bumper for some reason.
Is he racing?
Where
I
are
don't
they?
think he's racing down the highway.
Well, he starts to race down the shoulder later, but like, why is it so busy?
Yeah, because it would be like if it's if he's making those calls, presumably like it's the end of the day.
Yeah.
So at least 5 o'clock. The ceremony's probably at 6, maybe 7 o'clock. So he's there for that like 2-hour period. You'd get out at rush hour at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it looks like busy. Like it looks like where are they again? Where's the Mall of America located? Because that's where they are in this
It's
movie.
in Washington, D.C., isn't it?
No, I think
that
it's
area.
No, well, it's in Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
right.
I was way off.
I guess that it's probably a busy area. So, well, I'm not gonna
it-
poke holes in
Yeah.
too many holes into
And,
it.
yeah, I mean, infrastructure investment wasn't always great.
Mm-hmm.
So there could be aspects of that, inadequate, snow plowing.
That's true.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll keep going. So then we just cut back and forth between Howard in traffic and the boys coming out in their uniforms doing the ceremony and whatnot. We see this man named Ted, who's played by Phil Hartman, who is like this handyman neighbor guy who all the wives are like fawning after. He's there recording the ceremony because his son is in the ceremony as well. And he's a good character. I really like this character.
Oh, he's a dynamic and a deep
is.
character.
I really enjoy like these moments in the movie where he just like snaps and
Oh, yeah.
yells sometimes. It like adds so much to the character, and I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, there's a lot under the surface of that character
Mm-hmm.
if you watch it, in my opinion, because I believe the background story of him is that he is divorced.
Yeah.
And his wife has moved out of the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
But all this, the dynamic of our society, all of the divorcees in the neighborhood and in the karate class
I guess.
dynamic.
I guess they all know him.
Yeah, they all know him, and he's always going over. He's bringing cookies. He's bringing cocoa.
Fixing lights.
Because he's the good, good dad dynamic. But, underlying that is like, it's kind of a facade. You know what I mean? There's a reason why his wife left him.
Yeah,
You know what I
'cause-
mean? And like, he's not that good of a person.
Yeah.
You know?
He's a little,
He's a little slimy. You know?
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
But we're just introduced to a bunch of ladies just hitting on him right there. It's whatever. But he's just still hanging out with Liz because that's who he's got eyes for. We're supposed to assume.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said that. That was weird. Let's keep moving. So yeah, Howard. This is when he begins to start driving on the shoulder to pass everybody because he's like, well, that's a good idea, I guess. You know,
It's never a good idea.
it's never a good idea, really. But he immediately gets pulled over by a bike cop, and he gets like a what?
Speeding ticket?
Speeding ticket,
speeding
and
ticket?
yeah, he gets a speeding ticket. Sobriety test. That's the God. I'm very bad tonight. So he gets a sobriety test. He has to take a sobriety test, and it messes up his whole schedule, and he's very late now. But Jamie, we cut to Jamie. He's getting his belt, his purple belt, I think it was. And he looks very disappointed that his dad is not there. Like very obviously disappointed to where you could see it if you were in the stands, which is sad.
Yeah.
Just imagine seeing like a kid get this karate belt and then just like moping back to his spot.
Oh yeah, and that's gonna show up on the videotape too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 'Cause he's zoomed in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just right up in there, just a full frame sad face.
Mm-hmm.
So sad, that poor kid.
But Howard finally makes it, but the whole school, they were at a school for some reason. Like, is it
That's
a
a
school funded thing?
It doesn't have to be school funded. You can have
You
karate
know,
classes
have it at a school.
schools.
Like, that's true.
Sean's was at a school, wasn't it? Yeah, it was.
Remember when they used to just have like an adults yoga class at our school?
Yeah.
They we went to Skyline High School, and I had jazz band in the morning, so I had to come early, and I would just see like middle-aged moms coming out with their like yoga mats, and I was like, why do they have this at our school? Why do they host this here?
That's kind of weird.
Taft used to have a bunch of classes there during the
Very
week too.
strange.
Yeah.
It's very strange. That's weird. Anyway, where was I? Let's see. Yeah, so he's at the school, but then everyone's gone. It's closed. There's a man sweeping up the all the trash that I guess.
The decorations.
But
People
like,
are messy.
why was it just
People
all
are
the
very
fuck?
messy.
They just took it down and just left it where it was. They just
Guess.
like pulled it out of the ceiling and just like
Man,
where it falls is where it goes.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're suburban parents.
That's
you know,
true.
they don't care about other people.
The janitor's
care about
coming soon.
Yeah, no, they
Yeah.
care about the janitor. But he heads back home. When he gets home, Ted is up on his roof putting up some Christmas lights, which he's not too happy about.
I would be so happy if my neighbor came in like nicely decorated my house. Like Christmas lights are hard to put up.
But what
Isn't
if it
that
was a
nice?
neighbor that was trying to cuckold you?
I don't give a shit. My house looks real nice.
That's true. It
You'll
did look
be,
very good.
yeah. I mean, in the suburban livelihoods of America, all your neighbors are trying to cuckold you. That's
true.
it. That's all it is.
In many different ways.
Yeah, you know, on some dynamic, and really, you know, this, I don't. Yeah.
So yeah, let's see. He walks in. Liz is very mad at him because he didn't make it, obviously, and then he just is complaining about Ted instead of like apologizing, which he should be doing. But then he goes into the living room and sees Jamie watching Turbo Man on the television, and Jamie's just not having any of his crap. He's
Tired of his shit.
Yeah,
Dad's
he's-
never there.
he's trying to make him happy, and Jamie just leaves and runs up the stairs and slams the door in his face. And so Howard walks into the room, and we see Jamie's room, which is all decked out in like this comic book stuff. He has a full wall mural of Captain America, which is like impressive.
Yeah,
because it
it's
looks like it
pretty
was
cool.
painted on there. And so it's like is just like Howard like a really good artist or really good at tracing? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's impressive. Dad just starts like playing around with his belt, putting it on his head, being goofy. Jamie's still not having any of it. There's the word. And then they sit down and they have like a heart-to-heart talk about how he's never there, and Jamie just wants him to be there. And then Howard asks him like, "Oh well, what can I do to make it up to you? What can I get you for Christmas? Something special?" And he's like, "Oh well, I already asked Santa for something." He's like, "Oh well, what did you ask Santa?" And he says that he wants, and I wrote all of this down so I can recite it. He wants the Turbo Man action figure with the arms and legs that move, and the boomerang shooter, and the rock and roller jetpack, and the realistic voice activator that says 5 different phrases, including "It's Turbo Time." Accessories sold separately, batteries not included. So
he knows what he wants.
Yeah, he wants you know. When I was a kid, I really wanted those action figures with the arms and legs that move. You know,
I like the ones that have arms and legs that move. It's not a very common thing.
That's true.
I guess. I mean, when I was a kid, if we want to get into it, I think I had some action figures that they didn't move their legs. If we're gonna get technical about it, I think their arms just moved.
I've seen. Yeah, that's a thing.
Mm-hmm. Which it is very weird when an action figure can move its legs because you can kind of rotate it to where the leg is just like sticking out very far, and it's very strange.
That's the fun part.
That's true. You can just make them look like that, and you make them look like they're walking on their butts. And it's fun. It's a fun time. That's what he wants to do with Turbo Man, I assume.
Yeah, there's some underlying homoeroticism
with Turbo Man.
With Turbo Man, yeah.
So he also mentions that everyone else is going to get one, and anyone who doesn't is going to be a real loser.
Guess what, kid? You're a real loser.
But Howard promises him that he will get him the Turbo Man action figure. And then they're getting ready for bed. He's telling Liz how excited they were, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get that doll for him." And Liz is like, "Yeah, you got it already, right?" And then we have that classic Jingle All the Way zoom in on Arnold's face as he looks surprised, like he forgot something. But he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I definitely got it. Let's go to bed." Yep. And then she's like, "Oh yeah, good. I'm glad you got it because they're probably all gone at this point." And then we see another one of those. She turns off the spotlight on his face as he is just shocked that he needs to find this doll immediately. And this is where the plot starts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, at this point, the fundamental problem here is that, he chooses to deal with his problems with his child through capitalism, as opposed to like buying something, as opposed to being like continuing that conversation and explaining like, hey, I'm doing this for you, but like, yes, I should make a bigger effort. Mm-hmm. Let's have an experience together and demonstrate our love for one another through our concerted effort to be better human beings and better parent and child. Yeah. But no, instead of that, I'm gonna get you a doll.
I'll buy it for you. How about that? I'm rich. I sell mattresses, I think.
Probably.
So next day is Christmas Eve, and he's leaving. He says he's gonna go to the office, but he tells Liz that he's actually gonna go get the doll, so that way Jamie doesn't know. But she also doesn't know that he doesn't have it.
He also spells out doll. Yeah, like how old is this kid? Can he not spell that?
Yeah, he does it like the child's like 2 years old or something. But he whispers it so he can't hear it.
I think a 2-year-old could spell doll.
Jamie's eating, I think, a Turbo Man themed cereal. Yeah. Which is like, that's big. Like, that's got to be a big TV show.
I mean, there's a parade where everybody's there for Turbo Man.
I can't even think of like a TV show that's had its own cereal. That's a big show.
Yeah, it's a huge show.
Bigger than the Power Rangers ever was. They didn't have their own cereal.
That's true.
Look at that.
Yeah.
But so there is a parade every year on Christmas Eve called the Wintertainment Parade. Yep. They don't say it out loud because it's a bad name.
Yeah.
But you see it on a sign when they go to the parade. But it's every year on Christmas Eve, so they're going to go there. And Howard promises he'll be there as well. And Turbo Man's going to be there, like you said. The guy dressed as Turbo Man, but the kids don't know that.
It's really Turbo Man.
It's really Turbo Man.
The real Turbo Man with the arms and legs that move.
And the working jetpack.
Yeah. But as he leaves, Ted is like trying to wrangle this deer that he put some reindeer antlers on. He says he bought it for his son Johnny. He just bought a deer for him.
I mean, you don't need to buy a deer. You can just find a deer.
That's true. I mean, well, he does mention that. I don't know if that was an extended thing or not because it was like a weird conversation.
It's not an extended thing. It's just a normal thing.
Yeah, because he has that weird conversation where he's like, when we're done with it, I've been following a pack of deer in the lakes or something. He says something like that, and he's like, I'll release it into the wild once I'm done. And I was like, this is just a weird conversation. He just like is talking about how he goes up to the lakes and watches this pack of deer.
Yeah,
it's a little weird.
Yeah, I feel like it's all a clever ruse, and they're gonna have some reindeer steaks or some deer steaks. And
he went up to the lake,
yeah,
with his family.
Yeah.
He also mentions to Howard, you can never do too much to make a Christmas magical.
Okay, but just to go back, there is lots of TV show themed cereals.
Well, I messed up, I guess.
There's
What do we got?
a Tiny Toons one. There's a Spider-Man one.
Oh, I remember the Spider-Man one.
I don't. There's a Rugrats one. It's Urkelos.
Urkelos? That was real?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cereals.
See, I don't remember a lot of TV show cereals. I remember a lot of TV show themed mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was big.
Lots
that
of
was
mac
a big
and cheese.
thing.
I don't know why that was big, but it was, and I liked it a lot. And I think SpaghettiOs too. I think that was another one.
Yeah.
There's SpaghettiOs, yeah.
Yeah. I remember. I think I got it like a Sonic the Hedgehog SpaghettiOs at one point.
That's
okay.
fun. Anyway.
But yeah, this deer is just very aggressive towards Howard, and because of course it is.
Yeah, I mean, duh.
Let's see. Now Howard's heading to the store, and there's a bunch of people waiting outside. Also to get into the store because it hasn't opened yet, because it opens at 9, and I guess it's like 8:58. I think.
Safe to assume.
I'm so bad at this right now.
It's
Why am I
okay.
doing so bad?
It's okay.
Sinbad is here though, and his character's name is Myron. That's right. They don't say it a lot. I try to catch it when I'm typing these out, but sometimes they just don't say it a lot, and I don't catch it until the very end of the thing. And now it's in the back of my list here. But his character's name is Myron. He's a postman. We assume.
Why do we
I have
assume?
a theory.
What is your theory?
I'll bring it up later.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he's in a postal outfit. He's got a satchel.
Yeah.
It's got the mail.
Yeah. And he starts talking to Howard, mentions how he's so busy sending Christmas letters and Christmas presents, and he starts going off on kids sending letters to Santa, going off on people sending presents, and he starts choking a lady, just a lady, and it's weird. His character gets weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of violence.
Yeah, there is a lot of violence with him.
Yeah.
I feel like this was one of those cases of when a movie gets a comedian and they're like, just do your thing. You know what I mean? I feel like this character was written to be we're gonna get Sinbad for this character.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, most of his scenes seem okay, this is Sinbad just improvising.
Yeah, just doing Sinbad.
Yeah.
Which is not bad in a sense. I just think it's weird sometimes when I can clearly tell it's this was made to be Sinbad.
Right.
Anyway, the door's open now, and the store's open, and everybody is freaking out. It's a huge stampede. People are knocking over shelves and toys, and then they go over to the Turbo Man stands, and everything's sold out. And they're like, "Oh, where's the Turbo Man doll?" So they go to talk to some workers. One of them, Chris Parnell, which would be he'll be a future SNL cast member or current.
At that point, I don't think he was on it.
But that's a fun cameo that I spotted when I was younger. There's a lot of those in this movie, actually. There's a lot of cameos.
It is nice.
There's the other guy. I don't remember his name, but he's a guy I've seen in a lot of things as well. The other worker that's at the store.
Mm-hmm.
Don't remember his name though. But so they ask them where the Turbo Man action figures are, and they start just laughing up a storm with some other customers as well. They just start laughing and telling them that they're all sold out, can't do anything about it. Sorry, dude. But then Howard just threatens them, picks them up and threatens them, and they tell him that a lady just left with the last one. You gotta go catch him. Were there some things in this?
Yeah, I was just waiting.
Oh, okay. I can do the rest if you want to tell us the stuff.
The extended version, the laughing is 3.7 seconds longer.
All right.
And it shows a bunch more
Really-
people laughing.
You really need that in there.
Yeah.
A lot of extended editions are really just I guess we left in a little bit of this scene. Oops.
Yeah.
But so what Howard does? Well, first of all, Myron pushes Howard down and runs away to try and catch the lady. But then Howard steals this child's RC car that they're in the toy store just opened. Did this kid just open it and start playing with it?
Yeah, what?
But also usually batteries don't come with it, so he had to find some batteries too.
Well, sometimes toy stores have toys on display that they can play with.
Not just
Yeah, that's a
play
thing.
an RC car around, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
There used to be a store in the mall that had a bunch of those.
Yeah, I mean, it drives sales.
Yeah.
If the kid really gets into it and he's like, "Oh, I love this," and it's cool. Well, you've been spending 30 minutes on it. I have. Yeah, exactly.
That's true. But yeah, Howard steals it, trips Myron with the RC car. But Howard runs out of the store, and then he goes to find the lady, and he finds this lady with a bag. I think this is an extended edition scene.
Yeah, in the regular version, he goes outside, sees the car, and tries to run after it. In the extended version, he goes outside, he chases after the wrong lady.
Yeah, this lady who just has like a bag, and he runs up to her, grabs her arm, and she thinks he's like gonna rob him. So she starts yelling at him, but then immediately he's like, no, it's fine. And then she immediately starts thinking that he's hitting on her. So she's like, oh, you want my phone number then? And he's like, no, I just want the doll. So he pays triple what she paid for the doll. And she's like, oh, yeah, sure, take it. And then she also pulls out a note that she just had ready.
She's got her phone number
ready
for you.
Yeah, and then he takes out the bag, pulls it out, and it's just a booster doll.
Ugh.
And he's disappointed. And he throws it in the garbage. I really don't like how much people don't like Booster in this movie. Like, you're going to get the Turbo Man at the end of this movie because it's a movie. So why not just keep Booster and have, like, the set?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
But why would you want the set when you don't like the character?
But, like, it's not fun. What, you're just going to have Turbo Man do what?
He's going to play.
You got to get the Dementor toy, too. They have that in the movie. He's got to have a villain.
They don't need a villain. He's got jetpacks and
true.
a boomerang launcher.
Yeah, it's all you need.
That's true. But yeah, after that, he starts chasing after this car. He sees a lady that has the Turbo Man action figure in the back of her car. She sees him and just starts speeding away. She's not having any of that.
This is another alternate footage thing. Oh, okay. So regular version, he just starts chasing after the car. This version, extended version, he mumbles "Turbo Man."
They should have left that in. That's awesome.
All right. Well, there we go. And then we just cut to a montage of him just like driving to stores with no luck, playing some like downbeat Christmas music.
It's also different.
That's also different?
Yeah, in the extended version, it plays the very sad, long song, and then in the regular version, it plays Jingle All The Way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh. I liked this version better,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
I liked how they played the Christmas song. I looked up the name of it. The Christmas song by Nat King Cole. The one that's like,
perfect.
Chestnuts roasting on... And I like it. I like how it's so downbeat and it's sad.
Yeah.
It's fun. Anyway, we cut over to Liz and Ted. They're baking cookies. A lot of times in this movie, I don't know whose house they're at because they don't really establish that very well. So I don't know whose house they're at in this scene. I assume it's Liz's house because she's baking cookies there.
Right.
But then he's like, oh, you should take some time for yourself. Go take a shower, and I can finish the cookies. It's fine. And then Howard calls the house. Yeah, I guess it is their house because he calls the house. Yeah. And Ted answers, and he's mad about Ted answering the phone. Ted's just, like, eating the cookies. Just, like, orgasming when he's eating these cookies. He's like, these are the best cookies he's ever had in his life. And Howard's very mad about that, and he gets very mad at him, and he tells him, what is the line?
Those are my cookies.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that. Who knows? We'll keep going. I didn't write it down, so it's not important. But yeah, after that scene...
Put the cookie down. No,
yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Put the cookie down now. So he leaves that phone booth that he was at, and Myron is there and comes across him and apologizes for pushing him down. He mentions that they should join up and be a team to try and do this, which that's inevitably going to fail because they're going to come across a time when there's going to be only one Turbo Man doll, and then they can't be a team anymore.
That's why they didn't become a team.
It's like when you team up with people on a reality show. It's like eventually we're going to have to turn on each other.
Yep.
But let's
capitalism,
see.
Man.
Yep, it's capitalism at its finest. And then some just random ass guy runs past them and yells that a store just got a shipment of Turbo Man dolls. Just very like.
I mean, the whole world is looking for them.
I guess so, yeah. But this guy, like, he said it to them, like he knows them or something. He's just like, oh yeah, they just got a shipment of and then he also gets in not the driver's side of the car, which I thought was very strange.
I didn't notice that.
He just gets in the passenger seat, and there's no one else in the driver's seat.
That's weird.
Here we go. Gonna go to the store. I guess he didn't have time to go around. He needs to climb over it's inefficient.
Yeah, it's like a bench seat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just slides over.
That's true. But as Howard's backing out of his car, he knocks over a police bike, and guess whose bike it is? It's the cop from before.
Oh, man.
Like, oh, shucks. He broke his tiny mirror.
Why is that? And my question at this point is, why is he working? You know what I mean? He should have, if he's a night cop, he should be a night cop.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he didn't get a lot of sleep last night, I guess.
Yeah.
He was out at like 8. It's like 8 now. No, it's like 9, I guess, because that's when the store opened.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Just get some rest, buddy. It's Christmas Eve.
Maybe he was just getting some coffee for the start of the shift.
That might be true, yeah.
Oh, he's getting coffee, but he's on a bike. That's gonna be bad.
Yeah, see, that doesn't make sense.
Bad.
How are you gonna carry?
He has like 4 cups of coffee.
Yeah.
I put coffee on a cup holder on my motorcycle that I had once, and
Well, that's one.
I know, and it was a disaster.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Maybe he's really good at it.
You put it in the saddlebags, that would be fine.
That would be bad. No,
that's where I used to put drinks.
Let's spill all over the
No,
place. Did you have like hot
things...
coffees that were just like open?
Yeah, you could just put things in there and hold them up. It works.
We'll have to ask him. So now we're at Mall of America, where the store that got the shipment of Turbo Man dolls is. And Howard goes to the store. The manager is standing there announcing on like a speak and spell system, I think. But yeah, he announces that they have a shipment of Turbo Man dolls, and they're trying to raffle them off with these bouncy balls, which I really understand. Like, you just get a ball, and then they're like purple. You get them.
Aren't they numbered?
Are
they? I don't remember.
Maybe.
They might have been, but they don't really show one up close.
That's true. Yeah, they're just the little bouncy balls.
I guess we are just supposed to assume they're numbered or like colors matter. I don't know. But people just start grabbing randomly at the balls until the workers just throw them in the air, and they go everywhere, and it's pure chaos. Like it should be.
Like you do.
Like capitalism is.
Mm-hmm.
Just pure chaos. But Howard grabs one, but then Myron pepper sprays him in the face, I think.
It's a little
right?
hardcore, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little
violent.
So it goes from 0 to pepper spray that quickly. You know what I mean? Myron's got a twitchy finger. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Myron grabs the ball, but then Howard yells at everybody, tells him he's got 2, which was my dad's favorite line from this movie because he would say it all the time. I don't know why that one stuck with him.
When would he say that?
He would just say it sometimes. My dad he's weird. He's a weird guy.
What?
He gets stuck on like the lines that aren't normally the lines you would get stuck on. Like, he's got 2.
I don't know when you would use that in context.
I think like any time I had 2 of anything.
Okay.
I don't know.
I guess.
I don't remember.
Oh boy.
But then everyone tackles Myron. Myron drops the ball, and now Howard just chases it.
Really dropped the ball.
Oh. And then he chases it through the mall, and this is where like the physics start to like it's
become
fun.
questionable.
Yeah, because the ball just bounces all across the mall, all over the place. He chases it for like a good 2 minutes, I'd say.
It's a very long scene.
Mm-hmm. And then some kid finally grabs it. It just like lands in this kid's lap, and I didn't find the name of this kid, but this kid's like the best. That's my favorite character in the movie. He's just smiling, silent child who just like takes this bouncy ball and it's like, it's my ball now. It's my fucking ball now. What you gonna do about that? You strong man.
Mm-hmm.
So Howard, he then starts chasing this kid through a play place, and then after he gets out, the child puts the ball in its mouth, and he grabs the child, and then all the mothers start hitting him with their purses and calling him a pervert. Classic.
Objectively, kind of creepy, but also the kid put a ball in its mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's the pervert here?
Right. Right. He's just trying to save the kid's life. You know what I mean?
The Heimlich.
Yeah.
But Howard's walking away, and then a mall Santa pulls him over and is like, "Hey, I got some Turbo Man dolls if you need them." And at first he doesn't believe him, but then they show him him and his elf friend shows him a picture of the Turbo Man doll. And he's like, "Well, I guess I gotta believe you now." This Santa is played by James Belushi, who I haven't seen him in a lot of stuff, but he does good work in this movie. I don't know. Everyone hates on him. I think a little bit too much, honestly. I think he did good in this movie.
Oh yeah, he's perfect casting in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just the right kind of shady.
Yeah.
But also the like overly confident. Like he is a good con man in this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. To some degree, like you don't trust him at any point, mm-hmm. but at the same time, he's engaging enough to where you're like okay,
approachable.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good con man. It's like he did a lot of research for it.
Yeah. But then we also have Danny Woodburn, who plays his little helper, who is like, if you ever seen him, he was in Bad Santa, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a movie where there's a Santa with an elf? It's him, pretty much. He's like one of the three. He's one of the three like little people who gets any work. This is another one of the extended scenes, right?
Yeah, it is.
So in the original movie, there's just like an overhead shot of them driving to the warehouse, and he starts like singing a song, and Howard tells him to stop it. But in this movie, there's like an actual scene with them in the car. It's not very interesting.
It's not.
Yeah, he just like.
It's just like, can we hurry up? I've been driving forever. And he's like, you want the doll or not? And he's like, okay.
Yeah, and then Danny's character is just like, is this real leather in this car? He's like, don't touch anything. And that's the whole scene. We just reenacted it for you.
All right, well.
But now we are at this warehouse. It's just a sketchy warehouse. And once they get into it, it's a huge warehouse full of people dressed up as elves and Santas and like Mrs. Claus, things like that. And they're all making these... we find out later, but they're like knockoff toys,
right,
pretty much from overseas, or they're making them. I'm not really sure what it is, because like it seems like they're making them themselves, but then also like why would they make the Turbo Man dolls speak Spanish?
Maybe I think it's just a knockoff Turbo Man doll.
That's what I would think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like more of like a knockoff toy distribution center.
Oh, like they would get them shipped in and then they have to package them.
Yeah,
that makes sense. But this is another extended thing.
Yeah.
I know some of them. So in that scene, the overhead scene where they're driving to the warehouse in the original movie, James Belushi's character starts singing the song "The Little Boy That Santa Claus Forgot," and he sings it a little bit, and then Howard stops him. But in this one, they do a whole a cappella, the whole song with all the Santas in the warehouse, and it's actually very good.
That's great.
Yeah, it's very good, but it does just come out of nowhere, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, okay, we'll go get your Turbo Man doll, and then he's like, have you heard this song? And it's like, what are you talking? And then they just start singing, and it's like, it's a little bumpy.
Yeah, the transition sounds a little bumpy. Yeah.
So they bring back the doll after that. It's all wrapped up, and they ask $300 for it. And he's like, fine, I need it, so whatever. I'll give you the $300. Opens it up. Like we said, the Turbo Man doll speaks Spanish, and it just all falls apart immediately as he opens it. But they say all sales are final, no refunds, all that stuff. But Howard is not having any of that. He calls them con men, and they get very offended by that because they don't like being called that. So they get into this big battle scene.
This is where the rock version of Jingle All The Way plays in the extended cut, because it didn't play when he was in the car.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, he just like he battles with James Belushi's character. He picks up this like big toy candy cane or whatever and starts smacking it around. There's a Santa with candy cane nunchucks.
Of course.
Yeah, you got him. The shirtless, obviously. Then we have another Santa that just gets like isn't really important. But then we have a big giant 7-foot tall Santa played by a wrestler who goes by the name Big Show.
Oh, that is the Big Show.
I
always thought it was the Big Show.
Yeah, that was the Big Show.
Oh, that's so cool.
I did not know. And then I was looking at the cast list, and I was like, there's no fucking way it's him.
That's
but
so
yeah,
cool.
it is the Big Show.
Shit. Oh, yeah, look at that face.
Yeah. and then he starts punching him, and he's just a brick wall. He's not having any of it. But then the cops bust in.
This is different.
Oh, this is different?
Yeah, this is different. In the theatrical version, there's a close-up of the beaten-down Santa lifting his index finger. And then in the extended cut, Santa looks angry, makes his eyes bulge. Howard shakes his head. The little helper laughs and says, "Oh man." Howard lets several hits rain down on Santa, but he doesn't seem to care. Okay, so when he hits Santa with a candy cane, when they're just standing around and Santa doesn't do anything, that's in the extended version.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. But then the cops bust in. Everyone calls them the Grinch, which I really liked that. They called the cops the Grinch. And then they start running away. And the cops are just like busting this ring. They question Howard, but Howard grabs a fake like toy police badge.
For some reason.
Yeah. Well, he flashes it at him and it works.
I know,
I
yeah.
guess. Just flashes it at him, pretends to be like an investigator who's been on the case for 3 years, he says. And they buy it, and he just leaves. He drives away, but his car's out of gas. Oh no! And there's another sad montage of him just like pushing his car while there's like down.
Do you think you could push a big old car like that on your own?
You have to.
I don't.
It's Arnold. It's Arnold.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised at how easily cars can move when you have them in neutral.
That's true, yeah.
And once you get the momentum and it's going, like the hardest part about moving a car is getting it going
Yeah,
initially.
but once it is going,
Once it
yeah,
is going, it's like you don't have to put anywhere near as much force into it.
I'm sure it's not all downhill though.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God, don't push
You have to
downhill.
go over a bridge, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
So,
I
oof.
don't know.
It's like call AAA. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Obviously, he's got tow service. We see that later.
That's true.
Yeah.
So then we cut over to the neighborhood. They're just hanging out with the reindeer and Ted and his son, Johnny. And Johnny mentions that he named the reindeer Ted after his dad. And then Johnny and Jamie have this little discussion where Jamie's like, "Oh, your dad's so cool. I wish my dad was like that." He's like, "Oh, my dad never did this until the divorce. Hey, your parents should get a divorce." And then Jamie gets really sad. And he leaves. He runs back home. Liz follows him. And as Jamie gets into the house, he picks up the phone because his dad was conveniently calling at that time.
Of course.
Calling from a payphone in a diner. He asks if he can talk to Mom, and Jamie mentions she's next door petting Ted. Good joke. But yeah, then they have this conversation where Jamie gets really mad at him for never being there and he's not going to come to the parade, and he just gets really mad at him, and he hangs up the phone, and then Liz sees that and gets mad at him as well. You know, family drama. Actually, during that conversation, Jamie brings up the fact that he promised he would be at the parade, and conveniently, Turbo Man has a phrase about promises. Always keep your promises if you want to keep your friends. You know, the classic
Good
Turbo
phrase,
Man
yep.
phrase,
Yeah.
which I think is the only time we ever hear that phrase in this movie.
Probably.
But it's one of them. You know,
Yeah.
One of the 5.
Yeah, Turbo Man is a lawful good.
that's true. He's just like, he has a lot of catchphages. Also, there's a lot of
5. What you talking about?
5.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah,
The action
getting
figure
the action
has.
figure. That's a lot. I feel like that's a lot.
I don't know.
Usually like 1 or 2.
That's not a fun toy though.
That's true. They only have 2 phrases. That's kind of lame. But Howard, he's at a diner, and again, conveniently, Myron is there, and they have this like talk about what it takes to like be a good father, which is like a well written scene. I feel like.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna get super into it because it's just a talk about like, oh, my old man never bought me toys. I want to buy toys for my kid and be a good kid.
In the extended version.
It is?
Yeah. In the extended version, he talks about one of the toys that he really wanted and all of the fun things that it did.
Oh, did he not talk about the toy in the regular version?
No, I think he talks about the toy, but this one he talks about like the guns and stuff.
Because yeah, Myron mentions that he wanted this toy gun for Christmas and his dad never bought it for him. But yeah, in the extended version, he goes into like huge depth about what this gun does.
Yeah.
It's like 7 different guns in one.
Would you like me to tell you the 7 things?
Oh yes, please
okay,
tell us.
1, it's a grenade launcher. 2, it's an anti-armor gun. 3, it's an anti-tank gun. 4, it's a rifle.
And Sinbad acts all of these out.
Of course.
Yeah, naturally. 5, it's a Tommy gun. 6, it's an anti-aircraft gun. And just in case anybody survived, 7 was a cap-firing pistol.
Which I don't know how it would be all of them.
That's a lot of guns.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, maybe I've watched Fifth Element too many times, but it's the Fifth Element Zurg scene. It's like the Ice Cube system. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So then Myron also mentions that his dad never bought him anything, and he wants to buy stuff for his kid because there was a kid that he used to be friends with who became a millionaire because his dad bought him all the toys, and his dad never bought him any toys, and now he's a loser, which is like, you know, correlation doesn't always mean causation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then this is when Howard hallucinates Jamie dressed up as Myron, and Jamie's drinking
It's beautiful.
alcohol.
Yeah.
That's
That's
so
really
good.
And then they hear this radio ad that's advertising that they have a Turbo Man doll in the well, they don't say in the studio, but they have a Turbo Man doll. They'll give it away to the first person who can name all of Santa's reindeer. So they race to the phone. They're fighting, like, rips the cord out and everything, and they run over to the radio station. The radio DJ is played by this guy named Martin Mull, who's like he's always playing just like little characters, but he's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's in Arrested Development.
Yeah, that's right. He was in like this one episode of Golden Girls, which was, but you know, he's been in everything. He's just played very small characters and everything, pretty much. But Howard breaks into the radio station and like grabs the guy and asks him where the Turbo Man doll is. And he says they don't have it here. They just have a gift card or like a
gift certificate.
Gift certificate. Eventually.
Yeah, eventually. And then Myron comes in and he holds this package and he says he has a bomb, and he has a bomb, which I don't know what he was thinking of getting.
He's thinking of getting Turbo Man.
He already told them that he doesn't have the Turbo Man.
Well, I don't think he was.
Oh, I think it might have been after.
Yeah, I think he comes in without knowledge.
The bomb. Yeah. Okay, there we go. But yeah, he drops the bomb, and it's just a music box. They open it up, it's just a music box. Yeah, okay, and then that's when they reveal that they don't have the doll now. They can just get it eventually with a gift certificate. But then the cops start to show up, and they start running out of the building. And then they catch up to the cops, and Myron again pretends to have a bomb in front of the police.
I mean, it works. He got away.
It wouldn't.
Nope.
It would not. No. Like it would not.
You're at a, I think this is pre 9/11, obviously,
yeah.
but it doesn't apply. But you are at a radio station with a bomb. You know what I mean? That's still gonna be and you're threatening the police. That's pretty serious. That's a.
I don't know, what would they do in that situation?
I think they would do exactly that. They wouldn't go and play with the bomb.
I don't think
after he left.
He put it down and then just backed away. They'd grab him at that point.
Oh, they'd shoot him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So yeah, that's what he does. He drops the bomb. Howard and Myron leave, and then the cops try to examine it. The cop from before, who was in this group of cops, he's like, "Oh, I've been in the Bomb Squad. I've been in the Bob Squad for 10 years.
The Bob Squad.
I know when it's fake. This is just a regular old Christmas present." And then he opens it up, and it explodes. And it's a bomb.
It legitimately is a bomb.
And they don't die, and they just have cartoon soot all over there. And it's a funny joke, but they'd be dead, and they'd be dead, and they'd all be dead.
All the cops are dead.
And also that radio station would be completely destroyed as well.
Yeah. I mean, it probably wasn't that strong of a bomb. You know what I mean?
But there's structural damage.
Yeah, definitely structural damage. I think they're in a passageway of some sort when that happens.
Also, they'd anybody who was in that passage. Well, there wasn't anybody, but if there were, that's gone now.
Yeah, all the windows would be broken.
The elevators would probably fall.
That's true.
Yeah.
Very devastation. But no, just some soot. Yeah. It was one of those bombs that just shoots some ash at you.
A smoke bomb.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, this movie has a lot in it. I'm sorry it's taking so long.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I realized that as we were doing it, I was like, yeah, we're gonna do this movie. It's gonna be fun. And I was like, oh my god, this movie's just non-stop stuff that I have to write down.
Oh yeah, it
doesn't stop
it's
ever.
Deep.
So Howard, he takes this is an extended thing again. He takes a ride with a tow truck driver, and there's just a scene where he talks to he's practicing his apology speech with the tow truck driver.
Oh,
and
that's kind of heartwarming.
Yeah, but she's just like, what? I forgot what the line was.
Liz, honey, I did everything within my power to get the doll for Jamie. And then the tow truck driver. Oh wait, and then he's like, but look, I got a gift certificate, which is just as good. And the driver's like, too happy. Show a little emotion.
Yeah, there we go.
And then he's like, emotions. Oh, Liz, I'm so sorry. I didn't get one. I failed as a husband and I failed as a father. Could you ever forgive me, please? And then she's like, why don't you just put on a dress and weep like a little girl?
Okay, so that's why that scene was cut.
Yeah.
A little problematic.
Yeah.
So he gets home. The tow truck driver drops him off. Which was it his car?
Yeah.
But the tow truck driver drives away with it.
Well, yeah. Why would he keep that in his yard?
Because it's been stripped. This is when he goes back out, and he's left it for too long, and all the seats are stripped. Everything's stripped out.
Yeah, she's gonna take it to the mechanic.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he gets dropped off. He sees Ted putting up the star on the tree, which is what he does. And then we cut over. We see Liz yelling at Ted. He shouldn't be putting that up, but Howard thinks that they're just talking. Miscommunication stuff.
I'd be pretty steamed.
Yeah, I would be very mad.
Yeah.
But then we remember via a sound cue that Ted had bought a Turbo Man doll for his son, because we hear it's nestled safely under our tree.
Yep.
And then so Howard's plan is to just go steal it. He's gonna steal it from him. There are carolers outside, so Howard has to be very sneaky about leaving with the toy. He goes in, grabs it very easily. And Ted and Liz are outside watching the carolers sing. And Ted tries to put his arm around her, and she's not having any of that. But Howard then realizes that he's doing something wrong. He doesn't want to do this anymore, so he immediately tries to go put it back, but gets chased by the reindeer, Ted, and they just pretty much everything in the house.
It's a very violent reindeer. I really don't think you should have it.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have it in the house.
Except it gets very tame immediately after that.
It just doesn't like him.
But no, but then then they're just friends after that.
Oh, because it's drunk.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, they just break everything. He knocks like this what's the word?
Window?
Statue?
No, yeah. What's the word for the thing when you have like
nativity
scene? There we go. They have just a huge like life-size nativity scene in their home, and he knocks one of the wise men's heads into the fire. Smoke alarm goes off. There's a bunch of fire in there, so he's trying to put it out, but he kicks it right at the carolers through the window, which was just bad aim.
Yeah,
that's I feel like that's hard to do is kick a head through a window, right?
I saw fire. I mean, I'm panicking. I'm not aiming.
That's okay.
That's
true. That is true. But yeah, he kicks it through. Then Liz and Ted come in and start yelling at him, accuse him of like stealing the doll and everything. He tries to explain himself, but they don't let him. And so Liz just like leaves and asks Ted to come with her to the parade. And Ted says, "You can't bench press your way out of this one." And then Howard just he just punches the reindeer. He just punches it.
It's gonna hit him.
He punches.
He one punches a reindeer.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's beautiful.
So now we cut over to the Wintertainment Parade. It's just a bunch of parade stuff, fun characters like the Tick, which I noticed, which was interesting. They had a Tick there. Was that ever a popular? I don't
think it was like super duper popular, but it was. I mean, it was on for like 2 or 3 seasons. So and this was like right at the prime time of like. Of its popularity, and I don't know what the distribution company. Well, I mean, I would assume it's Fox, so it would make sense for them to include it.
That's true. I like that one. There's also the Cat in the Hat, which Johnny mentions. I like this exchange that they have, which is Johnny screams at Jamie. He says, "Cat in the Hat," and then we see this zoom up of just the cat dancing for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And then Jamie says, "Yeah," and they high five, which I liked that exchange. They're just excited that the Cat in the Hat was there dancing.
Fun time, yeah.
Howard took a taxi to the parade, and we see Ted.
See, but that's what I don't get. They have 2 cars. Why do you have to take a taxi? Because Ted drove them in his van.
Oh, yeah.
And I know they have 2 cars because Howard drove his home from work, and they still went to the karate thing.
And went home.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Plot hole right there.
Yep.
So Ted is like trying to get Liz to talk about her feelings with him and everything. And this is where he starts getting a little weird and getting a little like...
the creepiness comes to the surface.
Yeah. He starts like grabbing her and telling her like, "Oh, we've known this for so long," and she's just not having any of it.
Wait, but like when does he talk about the tuna? Because I wrote down the line, but I don't know when that comes in.
It was just like Howard was approaching them, and what was the line?
Marinate ahi tuna. All you need is Italian salad
dressing.
We
always spend so much time together. Do you remember all the memories we've made? He's like, remember that time I taught you how to marinate ahi tuna? You just need a little bit of Italian salad dressing, which that's like.
It's a beautiful line. I don't think so, but it's a good line.
Add a little bit more seasoning into there.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I mean, really, fundamentally, what the Italian salad dressing is some oils and some vinegars and basil, oregano, and maybe some garlic.
Yeah, so if you want like Italian ahi tuna,
I don't think I would marinate my tuna in that.
And it's ahi tuna.
Yeah.
Like you don't.
You could just eat it raw.
Yeah.
You don't need to marinate it.
It's ruining perfectly good tuna.
Yeah, just throw some salt and pepper and sear it on each side.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he's cooking up some Asian Italian fusion.
He needs
in his kitchen.
cooking lesson. That's what he needs.
Yeah.
But yeah, Liz isn't having any of it, so she throws his eggnog at him and leaves, and he's very sad now.
Sad boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna go back to all the other women he is having sex with. Yeah.
Howard sees this. He starts running over to them, but he bumps into the cop that's always there.
And pours a bunch of hot coffee on him.
A bomb blew up in his face like an
hour
ago.
Yeah.
Go and take the day off.
Maybe he is off duty and
He
just
also-
likes wearing the uniform.
He also has like, yeah, that's true. He's just at the parade.
Yeah.
But he has his like hands bandaged.
His bomb blew up in his hand.
But also all of his body was in the bomb as well. Not just his hands. Yeah, he bumps into the cop, and then the cop just starts chasing him. Let's see. Howard then runs over to this door and tries to escape. He just like picks a random door and he escapes from the cop, and that leads to this dressing room, and everyone thinks he is the guy who's supposed to be playing Turbo Man. So they dress him up in the Turbo Man suit, get him all ready. We see cameo from Curtis Armstrong, who from Revenge of the Nerds, a bunch of different stuff he's done. He plays the Booster. He's just like smoking.
Oh,
He was he's in
Metatron.
Supernatural. Yeah.
Yep.
We're big fans of Supernatural, so he's in that. And so now they're on the float, and Howard's just like freaking out because he's very excited about being on this float, and he's very excited about all the attention. Jamie shows his mom. He's like, "Hey, it's Turbo Man," and like they're far away enough to where like they wouldn't notice it's him.
Right.
But then later they get like real close to him, and I was
like,
like, "It's
yeah.
your dad. It's your dad."
It's
he
very-
never sees his dad, so.
There
That's
you go.
true. That's true.
He waves at Jamie, and he's like, Jamie's super excited. Let's see, what does that mean? Oh yeah, okay. I forgot to write down that there was a Turbo Man doll, so I just wrote, he picks it up and is very relieved. So yeah, there's a Turbo Man doll, a special edition one that he has to give away to a child, and he picks it up, and he's super excited about it because he's like, oh, I'm going to give it to Jamie because I haven't gotten one yet.
Yep. Easy.
Perfect.
Everything works out for me.
Yep. Booster then mentions that Dementor is going to come back soon. He's going to come swinging down, and then we see the shot of the Dementor actor just like smoking on a building, and he gets pulled off screen. And then Booster's like, "Oh yeah, you got to pick a kid," and so he picks Jamie, and he screams Jamie at him because
Well, they
Jamie
turn
and
up the
Johnny.
mic.
Oh yeah, they turn up the mic. That's right.
Not
'Cause
screaming.
Jamie and Johnny are like arguing over which one he's pointing at. He's like, Jamie, and the best line in the movie it was just Jamie just like, he knows my name. It was a good
Yeah, it's
delivery
good.
from Jake Lloyd right there. Almost better than Now This Is Pod Racing.
No. Nothing can beat that.
Nope.
So Jamie comes up to the float. He takes the doll, and he, again, still doesn't notice that it's his dad. But yeah,
At this point, he's right in
He's
front
right
of
there.
him.
He's got a lot of
He's got
big mask on.
Yeah,
It's,
he's excited. He's got a voice, dilation sort of
like
thing.
it's acceptable.
Modulator, yeah.
It's acceptable
Yeah.
enough. Howard tries to tell him that he's his father, but then that's when Dementor comes down, and it's Myron dressed as Dementor, and Myron wants the doll, so he's gonna steal it. He also tells Booster that no one likes him and knocks him off the float, and then people start beating him up.
He's like kicking him.
They just
Yeah.
start They don't like Booster.
They
at
do
all.
not like Booster.
I like Booster.
I'm gonna need to kick you.
Oh, no. Give me that Booster with the. I mean, I guess his arms and legs don't move. He's pretty big. It wouldn't work very well in a toy form.
He's a big nerd.
That's true. But yeah, Myron just straight up kidnaps Jamie. He just he tries to at least.
Right.
But then Jamie gets away and starts running away. He starts running away, but then Turbo Man, someone mentions that he's got some turbo discs. Jamie mentions that he has turbo discs, and he starts shooting these like little discs at Myron, and it hits his head. Which this float they go all out with this float.
Oh,
they
yeah.
have
Yeah.
a real jetpack.
Yeah, it's
That doesn't even exist nowadays.
Turbo Man
Really.
is in.
I think there are some like prototypes, but they don't have they can't just oh yeah, parade, give
Yeah,
him the
just throw it-
jetpack.
And yeah, strap it to his back, and nothing bad will happen.
Yeah, don't train him. It's fine. What's next? Oh yeah, and then this is when the demon team comes out and starts hitting people. Jamie hits Myron in the crotch and starts running away, and Myron chases after him. And they run through the parade for some reason, which is Liz was right there.
Yeah, just go
But
back to your mom.
They go through the parade, and Jamie, like kids do, goes up to the roof.
Yep.
Like you do. You
It's
keep,
part of the show. Don't worry.
you just keep going up to get away. You go as far up as you can.
Yeah, you just keep cutting off your means of exit.
Yeah. Until you're completely cornered.
Yep.
in a very high building.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so Liz starts running after them, and a cop stops them and is like, "Oh, it's part of the show. Don't worry." Yeah. Like this kid is just climbing a roof. It's part of the show
Duh.
where he's gonna get up on the big roof.
Yeah.
And now Jamie's still trying to get away, so he climbs this like metal frame tree thing that's just like hanging on the side of the right up against the side of the building, which is a good idea. But then the announcers mentioned that Turbo Man has a jetpack, and it's like we said, it's a real jetpack, and he just starts flying. He starts flying, and he's a jetpack. He's flying around. He like struggles to gain control of it a lot, and he like misses Jamie when he flies by him, and then he flies through. I think this is my favorite scene in the movie, where he just flies through this family's dinner, and just destroys their home, and it's very good. But the trees then falls, and they're just like hanging over the parade. Howard knocks Myron down with a turbo rang that he has, and Myron just conveniently falls on this big inflatable present thing. Or guy, I think it was a guy dressed in a costume.
Yeah.
And he's like celebrating that he got the doll, and then he's instantly arrested. And then Jamie starts falling, but Howard catches him because now he's good with the jetpack because he learned.
And then he flies all over with Jamie, and I would be very mad if I was his mom.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, like he catches Jamie, and then we get this shot of Liz where she's just like, "Oh, good." He's like, "Yeah, your kid almost died.
You don't know who this guy is."
Like, I'm glad that happened. I guess it's just part of the show, right?
Yeah, it's just part of the show. Like when his head was rattling against the wall.
It's just part of the show. Let's see. Yeah, Howard lands right in front of Liz with Jamie, and she still doesn't notice it's her husband. But Jamie mentions that he's like, "Oh, I'm so sad my dad's not here," which is like, you're in the middle of like this big crowd of people. It's not. I really don't think it's the time to bring up like your personal problems at this point. But good thing he did, because Howard reveals that he's the dad, and everyone's happy, and Jamie's like excited that his dad is Turbo Man. And then the cop comes over. He's like, "I found this doll for you. Here you go." But then Myron is being taken away by the cops as this happens, and he's like saying like, "Oh, I need to make my son happy. How am I gonna make him happy now?" And Jamie goes over and gives him the doll, because you gotta be good.
Yep.
And I already got the real Turbo Man at home. But also, Myron's going to jail. He's not going to be able to keep that. He's going to jail.
Yeah, that's going to be confiscated. Potentially as evidence.
That's true, yeah. It was what he was after the whole time.
Yeah.
He's a classified terrorist at this point.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to jail for the rest of his life.
Yep.
But here's the doll.
Yep.
Attempted murder. Yeah, there's a lot of.
So then we cut. This is where the and it ends. The regular movie ends right here, where everyone's carrying Howard on their back, and he's excited. But then in the extended version, this is the scene that's after the credits in the regular version, where it's that night Howard's putting the star up on the tree, and then Liz is like, "Oh, if you're willing to go through all that for Jamie, I wonder what you got me." And then zoom in on his face, because he forgot. What? Oh boy. What's he gonna do? The sequel time. Did you know there is a sequel to this movie?
I did not.
With Larry the Cable Guy.
Yep. It's a direct-to-video sequel.
Okay, that makes sense.
I've never seen it. I don't know what the plot is, but...
Oh, is it Jingle All The Way 2?
Yeah, Jingle All The Way 2.
Is there,
I don't think there's any... Yeah, I don't think there's any actors in it that were in the original movie.
You don't need any. It's got Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, he carries
Larry the Cable Guy is the king of direct-to-video sequels, because he also did The Tooth Fairy 2. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah.
With The Rock?
What's he doing?
I don't know. I guess that's just his thing. Were there any other differences in the thing?
Nope, that was all of them.
Oh. All right.
Okay, so the plot, the simple plot is a child's father and stepfather engage in an all-out battle to get her the toy of her dreams for Christmas.
Oh boy!
So it's the same movie,
except Ted won.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't recognize anybody besides Larry the Cable Guy. And he plays Larry in the movie.
Oh, really?
Oh, no.
Oh, come on.
Well, I mean, we got to have you back to watch that one eventually.
Yep.
Yeah. Good God.
Well, let's go to our next segment, which because I was trying to poke holes in the movie, and I was trying to find plot holes, but this is the segment where instead of saying what we didn't like about a movie, we say what we did like, and it's called gift giving.
Wonderful.
So let's talk about what we liked about this movie. I think this movie is super charming.
It's super charming, yeah.
Very charming. Like, I remember there was a point in my life when I stopped liking all the things that I used to like.
Yeah.
Like, I was like a teen, and I was like, oh, this stuff's dumb, and I thought this movie was dumb. But now it's like, it's back, and I really like this movie.
Oh, yeah. It's got the right amount of, like, nostalgia, and, like, it doesn't really rely on, you know, like general dynamics of like pop culture. Like it creates its own little
it, like, aged very well.
Exactly, because it doesn't like reference like if he doesn't want the Power Rangers toys, or the Tickle Me Elmo or anything like that. He wants this own thing that
so
it
glad
created.
The Twin Towers will always be with us.
Yes, right. But yeah, like it creates its own thing, so it's like it can't kind of like age out. Like I mean, the phone booths, you know,
that's true.
But other than that, generally everything is like pretty like timeless.
Yeah, and then all the acting is like very good, aside from like a few people, but it's still like I think it's very good. And Phil Hartman is very good in this movie. Oh yes,
so good.
His character, just Ted, is just the best character in this movie. I also really love those like montages when they play those like downbeat Christmas songs. I really like that because like it's weird that there's downbeat Christmas music.
Yeah,
and
right.
They used it very well. Let's see, what else did I have written here? Oh yeah, I liked the line, "You broke my little mirror."
Oh
when he
yeah.
drops the cop's bike. That's a good line. There's a lot of good lines
Yeah.
in this movie.
He's got two.
Yeah, he's got two.
He's got two.
But yeah, this guy, and I think Arnold is, everyone knows he's not the best actor, but I think he did a very good job in this movie, and it's a good movie.
Oh yeah, I mean it demonstrates his comedy capabilities pretty well, I think.
And I think he's good. He's
got
a
a
good
good surprised
comedic
face.
actor. Yeah, he does have a good surprised face. But yeah, is that what we liked? What do we rate it?
8.5.
8.5. I'll give it a 9.
Yeah, I mean, out of 10, I'd say like 8 or 9 for me.
Good. And then I would obviously recommend people watch this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, watch the
if
movie.
you haven't already.
Yeah.
All right.
And now it's time to jingle all the way over to the celebration tank.
It's the celebration tank. This is where we talk about the week's upcoming holidays. And before we start talking about that, we have to mention what month it is. It's July, which means it's National Anti-Boredom Month, National Blueberry Month, National Cell Phone Courtesy Month, National Hot Dog Month, National Ice Cream Month, and National Picnic Month. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Now you know. It's all those months this month.
That's great. I probably, in commemoration of this, I will probably just keep the container of blueberries I didn't finish in my fridge until they rot. So
yeah, there we go. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
With fruit.
That's how you celebrate the month.
Yeah. So let's do it. Today's Tuesday the 18th. I'll go first. That's how this is supposed to be.
Okay.
I always forget which one's supposed to go first. So it's Tuesday the 18th, which means it's Uruguay Constitution Day.
Happy Uruguay Constitution Day.
Yes.
You're a great country.
So they achieved their independence from Brazil. They used to be a part of Brazil, but then they're like, we don't want to be with Brazil anymore. And they had all those wars that I mentioned like a few episodes ago that I went into detail about.
Oh, yeah.
There was like the Uruguayan War, and then there was the Paraguayan War after that, because they had a fight for independence, and then after that they were like, hey, you guys suck, I think we're gonna go to war again. And they went to war again. It was a bad time. But yeah, they wrote their constitution in 1830, and now they're a country by themselves, and good job, guys. They don't really do much for this holiday. It's just kind of like it's like our Constitution Day. We don't really celebrate that much. We mostly just celebrate the 4th of July.
Right.
But what else do we got on Tuesday the 18th?
We got National Caviar Day.
Happy National Caviar Day.
Happy National Caviar Day.
Have you ever had caviar?
No, I have not.
I think I did once.
Was it extremely salty?
Yes.
Yeah, you've had
Then
caviar.
Have you?
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, cool. This is a fun experience. I like how these like pop in my mouth, kind of.
It's
but
like little sea balls.
yeah, it's little sea balls, and it's like this would be nice, like mixed into something.
Yeah,
but
but
on
you
its
just eat it on like a cracker. It's kind of.
it's like, and also they always put too much on crackers. Like they're like, it's like you have caviar, you're trying to show off. So it's like, look how much
A
caviar
scoop of
I
caviar.
can. Like it's a pound of caviar on like a little wafer. You know, you can't
die
have
of
that.
sodium.
Right? Yeah, it's not good. Not that I've had it that many times to where
Yeah.
I've noticed it, but like in movies and stuff, it's always like, look at this caviar.
They just use it like as like a dip or
Yeah.
something.
It's like they're using it as guacamole or something.
But was there any facts about Caviar Day?
No, there wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Just eat some caviar.
Yeah, a lot of these national days don't really have like origin stories, which is really
Yeah.
interesting.
They just randomly assign
Appeared,
them.
yeah. So now we move on to Wednesday the 19th. It's National Hot Dog Day.
Happy National Hot Dog Day.
Yeah, this one's interesting because it is not actually an official national day.
Really?
It's never been like put into like law or anything. But a lot of places just like, July 19th is the National Hot Dog Day. If you go to like any place that serves hot dogs, they're gonna have like a deal or something on this day, which is fun.
That's fun, yeah.
But yeah, there's like no origin. It just happened, and it's not even legally a day. But do it. Eat a hot dog. Anyway, let's move on. Thursday the 20th. What do we got?
We got Moon Day.
Happy Moon Day.
Happy Moon
nice.
Day.
Yeah.
It commemorates the day a man first walked on the moon in 1969.
Yeah, look at that.
That's the day.
That's fun. And then also on the 20th, we got Ugly Truck Day.
Oh, happy Ugly Truck Day.
What?
Yep. This is one that's like, there's a lot of holidays where I'm like, that's not real, right? And then I Google it, and there's like 5 websites that are like, yep. And I'm like, okay, I guess, sure. And this is one of them. I'll read this line that I got from a website. Beyond a doubt, Ugly Truck Day is a guy thing. Every guy can appreciate the importance of this day. Not to be left out, a fair number of ladies appreciate their ugly truck too. Ugly trucks are loved and cherished by their owners. So
Oh, no.
you do that on that day.
Oh, no.
What else do we have on the 20th?
We got National Lollipop Day.
Happy National Lollipop Day.
Yeah. This website lists a couple of different ways to celebrate it, and apparently there's a lollipop game
Oh, what?
where you drill holes into a thick, flat board, paint the bottom portion of a couple of lollipop sticks, stick the lollipops at random into the holes in the board. Each player gets to select a lollipop. If they pull the one with the painted stick, they win.
Okay.
It's not much of a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more of
Grab
like,
some lollipops
it's more
out of
like,
this board.
I win. I did
It's
it.
a lot of work for just some lollipops.
What's your favorite lollipop? With like brand.
Brand?
Yeah. What, you like a Tootsie Pop?
I only like one flavor of lollipop, so I can't
Okay.
really. The cherry.
No, cherries a
Yeah.
classic.
Yeah, cherry's really good.
What about you? I feel like not a lot of people like blow pops, but I feel like I like blow pops.
I like
a lot.
I think the cherry blow pops might be my favorite,
I-
but also the Tootsie Pops
I
are very
appreciate
good.
I appreciate the crunch with the gum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the gum.
mhm.
Like, and the contrast. It's really good.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still make it, but I learned to whistle with those
Oh.
little whistle pops.
Yes, I remember those.
Oh,
I
what
don't
a
think they make those
throwback.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, but I always remember it did not taste very good.
Yeah.
But I learned to whistle because of it. So
There we go.
I was like, this is great.
I used to never be able to whistle, and then I just like tried for like a week, and then I did.
It's pretty easy.
It's weird that like you can just learn how to do that. Same with like snapping.
Yeah.
It's like I've always known how to snap, and there's just people who need to like learn how to snap.
Oh yeah, I had to
Yeah.
learn how to snap. I had
That's-
when I was a like senior in high school. There was a freshman that was sitting at our table, and everybody's like snapping, and I'm like, yeah, man, I don't know how to snap, and he's like, what? And so this little kid, freshman, taught me how to snap that day.
Dang.
It's
Yeah.
fun. I had to learn how to tie my shoes in high school.
Mm.
I didn't know how to do that.
I knew how
Lots
to
of
do
things
that
you don't
'cause
know
I'm
how
a
to
cool kid. Anyway, let's move on.
Wait.
What?
Wait.
There's something
There's
else?
an origin.
Oh man, there's an origin for National
Yeah.
Lollipop Day.
George Smith, owner of Bradley Smith Company, invented and patented the lollipop in 1908. Legend has it that George named the lollipop after his favorite racehorse, Lollipop.
Oh,
Wait, there was just a horse. They're like, lollipop.
Apparently.
That's what we'll name it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm somewhat concerned about how many things and how many like words derive from racehorses. Like upset originally was a racehorse name and it just meant somebody that was like upset and like sad and about something. But then since it was upset was a long shot, and it won, it came into the vernacular of like, oh, upset. It's like an upset.
Dang.
And so for it to also be lollipop, I don't like that.
Yeah,
it's like that's too many.
Someone just made up that word.
Yeah, it's like there are too many things connected to horse racing to make me feel comfortable.
Okay, but that's the origin.
Yeah, that's that guy that made the lollipop
All right.
the other day.
So now we go on to Friday the 21st. It's Belgian National Day.
Happy Belgian National Day.
Yeah, it commemorates an event on the 21st of July, 1831, in which Leopold swore allegiance to the new Belgian constitution, thus becoming the nation's first monarch. So it like established like, it's Belgium. We did it. And the day typically starts, this is how they celebrate it, with like a Catholic religious service at the Cathedral of Brussels, attended by the king and other dignitaries. And then in the afternoon, they have like an army parade and everything, and everyone's super excited about it. Military, Air Force come out. They make a big show of it, and then they have just like festivals around town, and it's a fun day.
It's fun.
Yeah. And a lot of it also says a lot of notable like government buildings and historical buildings that aren't normally open will like open to the public on that day.
Oh, that's cool.
Which that's fun to like just like go around and see these things you've never seen. But yeah, that's the day.
It's a nice day.
What else do we have on that day?
We got National Junk Food Day.
Happy National Junk Food Day.
Happy day. Eat some junk food. And there's also a warning note on this website for it. It says, junk food may be hazardous to your health. After all, mom knows what's best for you. Do so at your own risk. That risk includes mom saying, I told you so.
That's good.
So yeah, eat some junk food.
Nice. I like junk foods are good.
Yeah. Eat at your own risk.
I don't want my mom to get mad at me.
Yeah, right.
But then we move on to Saturday the 22nd. We got Pi Approximation Day.
Happy Pi Approximation Day.
It's one of those nerd holidays.
Yeah.
It's everyone usually celebrates Pi Day, which is March 14th because pi is 3.14. But today is Pi Approximation Day because the approximation of pi in a fraction form is 22/7, and today is 7/22.
Oh, man.
But
Oh, that America, is so great.
Yeah, it's really fun.
That's so cool.
It's really fun, and that's the day. Anyway, what else do we have?
We got Hammock Day.
Happy Hammock Day.
Happy Hammock Day. Hammock Day was created by Bob Matthews, some guy from this website.
He was from this website, and they made it?
Yeah.
Good job.
He did that in 2008, and I quote Bob, "Our lives are normally busy and hectic. Summer is a special time to lay back, enjoy the weather, and recharge our batteries. What better way to do this than from the comfort of a hammock under a shady tree?"
That's fun.
Mm-hmm. Some websites have erroneously reported this as a national. As a national
day.
That's what. No, it just says as a national.
As a national.
According to Bob Matthews, the creator of Hammock Day, this is not a national day.
Oh, thanks, Bob Matthews. Have you ever been in a hammock? Hammocks are pretty fun, right?
They have those hammocks at the Renaissance. Those are nice.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're really comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just like hard to get into.
Yeah, once you get into them, though, you just don't want to get out.
Yeah. Next on this day, we have Rat Catchers Day.
Happy Rat Catchers Day. Tell me about this.
It commemorates the story of the Pied Piper. Obviously, it's like the story actually takes place on a different day, but for some reason we celebrate it on the 22nd. I don't know why. But I guess rat catchers were like a big thing in Germany in like the old days. And so for those of you who don't know the story of the Pied Piper, which I heard it when I was a kid, I didn't know everything like about it because I'm sure I got like the kid version of it, right? But do you know like the story? The real story of the Pied Piper?
Tell me.
So the Pied Piper was just this dude. Germany, how the story goes, Germany had a lot of rats. They had like millions of rats everywhere. He was like a very big infestation. This dude who just played like the pipes, he lured them with his magical music, and all the rats followed him. And what he did was he played the pipes into a river, and all the rats drowned. And so he's like, hey, check it out. I killed all the rats. You going to pay me, Mayor? And the mayor's like, no, I'm not going to pay you. I didn't promise I would pay you. He's like, oh, cool. Guess I'm not going to get any money for that. So in the middle of the night, he started playing his pipes and lured all their children into a cave. And there's 2 different endings that usually happen. One, let's see, what is it?
Wait, children rats or children?
No, just children.
Children, okay.
Like the town's children.
Yeah. One version is he keeps them there until the mayor pays him. And then another version, the children were never to be seen again.
So always pay your debts.
Yeah, always pay the guy who killed the rats.
That's why they say the thing, the pay the Pied Piper.
Oh, I guess
That's
so,
the
yeah.
thing, yeah.
Huh. Well, would you look at that?
There you go.
It's gonna steal my children.
Happy Rat Catcher's Day. What's next on Sunday the 23rd?
We got National Vanilla Ice Cream Day.
Happy National Vanilla Ice Cream Day.
Happy ice cream. There's not anything origin-wise about it, so just go eat some vanilla ice cream and be a nerd.
I think you can make a good vanilla ice cream.
Yeah,
sometimes.
by putting like chocolate sauce in it and making chocolate.
I think there's an art to vanilla ice cream. It's like a subtle. This is a subtle thing.
Chocolate sauce.
Chocolate ice cream's better
That's
objectively.
Uh-huh.
Gotta appreciate the finer things in life, like vanilla bean.
Ooh.
Just that rich flavor.
Yeah. Next up on the 23rd is Parents' Day.
Happy Parents' Day.
Yeah, it's the 4th Sunday in July every year. It was proclaimed by Bill Clinton in 1994, and he's just like, spend time with your parents.
Thanks, Bill.
And you know what? Like, my parents would always complain every time like Mother's Day and Father's Day came around that they're like, oh, we never get a day. But then there's like also Parents' Day. They get a lot of days. Parents get a lot of days.
3 days more than we get.
That's true. Think about that for a second, parents.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
How about that? Take that to the bank. What do we got on Monday the 24th?
We got Pioneer Day.
Happy Pioneer Day.
Happy Pioneer Day. This is a state holiday in Utah, and only Utah celebrates it.
Huh.
And this day, it commemorates the entry of Brigham Young and the first group of Mormon pioneers into Utah's Salt Lake Valley in 1847.
Huh.
They have like a little festival
I
and
was gonna assume
parade.
it was like, the pioneers, like the ones that we know.
Nice.
But the Mormons.
Mormons.
Pioneers.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's fireworks and parades and picnics and rodeos and lots of other festivities.
That's fun.
It's a fun day.
That is fun.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, last holiday we have for this week, and I know it's so sad that we have to. There's no more holidays to celebrate, but we have Cousins Day.
Happy Cousins Day.
Yes, happy Cousins Day. Just to hang out with your cousin, have a fun time.
I want to say it.
Well, okay. So the website that we usually like find some of these holidays on has like certain like fun segments within the holiday pages.
Okay.
And so this segment was today's greeting. So what is the greeting for Cousins Day?
What's buzzin', cousin?
There we go.
All right.
There we go. And that's how we end this segment. So yeah, thanks, Matt.
Absolutely.
What do you want to plug? You want to plug anything?
The Storrs Objection is at the Herberger Theater Center on July 22nd at 8 p.m. Doors and drinks at 7:30. And if anybody would like tickets, they're $10. But there is a discount code. Feel free to find me on social media, and I can give it to you there, or they can use the code YLB, and that gets them $5 off online. And then you can find me on social media at MT Storrs, and that's on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all those fun things. Probably Snapchat too. If you want to see, if you want to see pictures of my dog, that's a good place for that.
Have you ever wrote a joke where it's like, empty stores, must be Black Friday.
Better restock.
Actually, originally when I started out as a comedian, I was very concerned. So I was like, I'm gonna go as MT Storrs. That's gonna be my stage name. I'm gonna be that cool guy. So I had a very similar joke to that, and then I also had one about like I'm not a mountain. I'm not Mount Storrs. There's no Mount Storrs anywhere, and people are like, okay, thanks.
Got it.
Thanks.
You just made up a name and then started making fun of it.
Yeah. So they're like, yeah, maybe don't do that. It's
Call
kind of
it
like
gold.
yeah, it got old immediately.
Oh no, I said gold. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
it.
Oh well, thank you. I mean, yeah, I could have stuck with it, you know.
Yeah, you could bring it back.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's always that's why the all the handles are that, you know what I mean?
That's true.
Like it's
one of these days.
one of these days it's gonna be MT Storrs rebirth. You know?
All right. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
It was really fun. And also thank you to Hannah Puri for our artwork. She's good. Check out her links. They're everywhere, all over the place.
All the links.
Find them. You can
I
also
catch 'em.
yeah, you can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, which I've been hearing tell that SoundCloud is not doing so good lately, so we might have to not be on that anymore.
What's happening with SoundCloud?
They're losing a lot of money and workers.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, they're hemorrhaging.
You know, all the stuff. iTunes, Apple Podcasts, I think it's called now.
Mhm.
Do you know? We've been trying to figure this out because I think they rebranded their stuff and now it's called Apple Podcasts where you get the podcasts.
I don't know.
I don't use Apple products, so we had a long discussion about this last episode.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, but yeah, you can also go to our website, oneholidayataTime.com, and find the holiday calendar and a bunch of like lists of movies and TV shows, specials, and stuff like that. And you could rate us on iTunes if you want. That's fun.
Yeah. Do it.
I mean, we're still 5 out of 5 because we have one rating.
yeah,
Yeah,
thank
that's
you,
right.
Elizabeth.
Oh, is that her?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, what, Mount Yeti or whoever it was?
Was that on iTunes? I thought that was
Yeah,
SoundCloud.
that was on iTunes.
Oh, she never rated us on iTunes. Then I'm gonna go beat her
Wow.
up.
What a fool. But yeah, that's it.
That's the show.
That's the show. Goodbye.
Happy
Bye.
days.